Now, where are you from?
Detroit, Michigan.
Still living there?
Yeah, I just moved back 2 years ago.
Oh, where did you move to?
LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you moved to LA?
18.
18. And
Yeah.
how long did you live out there for?
9 years.
Now, why move back to Detroit? Because Detroit, although they do make a lot of music and a lot of rap music too, it's not a musical capital in today's times like in LA is. So what's the reasoning for you to move back to Detroit when LA is, what you got, LA, New York, those are probably the two, then the two biggest as far as in today's time.
Yeah.
And you got a Miami and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Detroit's probably below that.
Yeah.
Why go back to Detroit if it's kind of out of the musical hotness?
That's because we bringing it back. We bringing it back. A lot of artists coming from Detroit, you know, and one of the biggest artists right now is, you know, T Grizzly. You know, everybody playing this record, you know, everybody want to come to Detroit. You know, we bringing Detroit back to life like how, you know, back in the day, Motown, you know, we trying to bring that back. So, you know, we got a lot of good music coming out, you know, we got some of the same music, but, you know, we bringing Detroit back.
Now, what part of Detroit do you rep specifically?
West Side, 6 Mile, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, paint the picture for us. What was it like growing up in the city of Detroit for you?
I mean, it was crazy, man. I mean, from, you know, living across from my enemies, you know, like from the neighborhood, it was gangs, you know, back then. Now it's still, you know, 6 Mile, 7 Mile, Puritan. So, you know, it was crazy, man. It was, you know, it was madness, it was war. You know, a lot of my friends died, you know, a lot of drugs being sold, you know, a lot of arrests, a lot of warrants, you know, yeah.
Did you get sucked into that lifestyle, or were you able to avoid it?
I got sucked in for a brief minute, you know, but music, you know, saved me. Yeah.
In what ways? Exactly.
Well, you know, I used to sell dope, like really sit on the block and sell crack, you know, and, you know, once I got done doing that, I go to the studio, you know, and that'll be my escape. Because I wasn't making money like that, but I was like starting to sell beats to people and getting known in the city locally, you know, but it was just a lot of bullshit, man, with the beats, you know, so I was just, you know, I had to take it elsewhere.
When it comes to dealing with the streets, right, looking back at yourself and your life, that's a very risky avenue.
Yeah, it is.
There's consequences that can come from that, violence that can come from that, incarceration, be it jail or prison that can come with that.
Exactly.
Death that could come with that. And you said a lot of your friends got killed.
Yeah.
Why go that route knowing those risks? Was that something that's unavoidable for you?
It was. At the time, it was unavoidable, you know, because everybody was doing it. You know, it's either, like I say, my boys was dying, you know, my boys was selling crack, making money, making fast money, you know, and they brought me into it like, hey, man, you can make some money too. So I just fell into it. You know, everybody else was doing it. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to get money too, you know.
Now, just, you know, thinking back again, any regrets dealing with the streets?
Nah, man, I really don't regret a lot, especially when it comes to the streets, because I learned a lot. You know, it made me who I am today, you know, and I'm still in the streets. I still deal with the streets every day. I'm always in the streets, no matter, you know, if I'm just going in the hood and hiding at my homies, but I'm always in the streets and tied to the streets no matter what.
Was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward or what you got out of it?
Nah, back then it wasn't worth it. But, you know, it happened, and throughout the years it just made me a better person. So, you know, I just appreciate what happened, you know.
How young were you when you started dealing with the streets?
What, 4, 5? And that's just really just playing in the streets and just, you know, seeing, you know, dope dealers and, you know, people, gangbangers, you know, killing each other, fighting, you know. So from the age of 4 and up, I was just in the streets, no matter if it was, you know, just me just running around with my friends, you know. It was.
But like when you mentioned you used to be on the block selling crack.
Yeah.
How old were you at that point? How young?
I was about 17.
17.
Yeah.
Somebody watching this, let's say they're a 17-year-old,
Yeah.
right? Similar circumstance.
Yeah.
What do you tell a kid like that?
Uh,
What would be the advice? Now, of course, granted, there's different circumstances, different places where this kid could live, but generally speaking, what's the advice you would tell somebody like that?
You know, the streets is not a place for nobody. And find a hobby, find something that you like to do, and you can make some money off of it, or you just like doing it. Something that can keep you out the streets, period.
What was your roughest moment growing up?
Man, my whole life.
Was there a particular moment that stood out, though, above all?
You know, getting locked up from, you know, selling dope. Yeah.
Locked up a lot?
Well, as far as selling dope, man, I got locked up, you know, once for that, and, you know, they set me down for like a good month. And I was out. Then, you know, a week later, I was in there again for something, you know, something else done. But yeah, I was in and out of jail, man, back in the day.
But never had to lead to prison time or anything like that?
Nah, nothing like that. It could have been, man, so much that happened in my life, man. You know, I could have ended up in jail, you know, last year. You know, I came home from LA 2 years ago. 2 months being in Detroit, I got into a cop chase. You know, and I ain't had nothing to do with it. I could have been gone for at least 5-10 years. You know,
when that happened, did it make you think, what am I doing back here? I need to be back in LA. Did you have a relapse moment, or?
Yeah, I did. I did. You know, because I got a son out there, man. So I really went through it with him, not seeing him like I used to. But yeah, man, everybody was really like asking me, like, what are you doing back? Go back to LA. I'm like, man, I want to bring it back home. I've been out there too long, you know, I got burnt out.
You did?
Yeah.
Homesick?
Homesick, man, you know, I had warrants, you know, and I just got burnt out, the people. But I love LA, I love Cali.
Does LA change people? Like, you know, you always hear those stories. Somebody's like, man, I'm gonna make it big, I'm gonna get famous, I'm gonna go to LA, and people will say, hey, once you go to LA, boy, it's you might be a different person.
Oh, no, man. I'm going to tell you like this. I got a best friend. I actually brought him out to L.A. And it changed him. He just got back like a couple months ago, and it changed him, man, you know, from you know, drugs to, you know, the Hollywood lifestyle, you know, all that, man. It changed him. And I looked down, I'm like, man, you ain't the same person no more, you know. But you interact with people more, you know, and that's good, but you do too much. I'm like, it changed you. So, yeah, it changed you a lot.
How about yourself? How would you rate yourself outside of your, like an outer body experience? Would you say the same thing about yourself? Have you changed?
Or? Oh, yeah, I definitely changed a lot. I changed a lot, man. I seen a lot, been through a lot, and it changed me for the better. You know, but it definitely changed me. I ain't the same person I used to be when I used to live, you know, in Michigan.
Talking about LA, you said it changed you for the better.
Yeah.
In what ways exactly?
You know, just learning the business, the entertainment business, the music industry, you know, it changed me, and you know, it made me look at everything different as far as like investing in myself. You know, the quality of the music, you know, my music doesn't sound like underground music. You know, I'm more mainstream, and I always had that mainstream sound. So, you know, it just changed me as a businessman, you know, entrepreneur. It changed me a lot.
How does one go to LA and not turn for the worst? You turn for the better, but you always hear those Hollywood stories of people, once they go to La La Land.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
How does any advice there on somebody maybe watching this thinking about making a career move to LA, no matter what it is? How does one stay away from turning bad, turning out for the worst?
I mean, I really can't say nothing on that because it's LA. LA is a big, melting pot of a lot of people and a lot of different cultures, energies, and I just say, just stay true. Stay true to yourself. Watch out for the weirdos. Watch out for the Illuminati. Just watch out business wise. Just look out for yourself. Keep your eyes open.
Is that something you can go into a little bit further?
Yeah.
When you say watch out for the weirdos.
Yeah.
Watch out for Illuminati.
Yeah.
Explain.
Man, when I first moved to LA, we was going to mansion parties, Hollywood, in Hollywood Hills, and we'll see everybody. You had all kinds of people. People with money. And it's just like, if you want fame, it's certain things you might do, and they out there, they waiting for you.
That stuff is true that people hear about.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. They want your soul. They want, they want half your life, your royalties. They want everything, man. It's crazy.
Now, when you said your boy went to LA, it turned him for the worst. You went to LA, it turned you for the best, even though you did get burnt out eventually.
Yeah.
What was the difference in how he turned out for the worst and you turned out for the best? How was he able to go a different path than you and not stay up to the path that you did of turning for the better? What was the difference? Is that something you can pinpoint?
Yeah, I mean the drug intake, the influences, and we just two different people. I'm really from the streets, and I connect with the streets on a different level, and my man's just he not really from the streets like that, so it kind of swallowed him up and spit him out. Me, it swallowed me up, and I came right back out fighting. But it's we just two different people, and I just came out on top. People thought I was gonna fall off, but I'm back on. It ain't nothing.
Now, what type of student were you in school? Switch gears here and get back to the upbringing.
I was bad. I was bad.
Kid.
Yeah,
Bad
I was bad and I was good. I was one of those kids where the teacher would be like, "Oh, yeah, he's a good student. He just, he gets distracted and, he wants to have fun and, he doesn't focus as much, but he can do it, and I chose the left way instead of the right way."
Now, thinking back when it comes to schooling, right?
Yeah.
Were you making beats while you were in school?
Yeah.
Did it start that early for you?
Yeah, it did.
What grade?
I say like the 7th grade. I started making beats and put them on tapes and selling them. Yeah.
Using hardware, software?
Nah, it was hardware back then. It was hardware, man. You talking 2000, 1999, 2000, Yeah.
How are you nowadays? Software? Or you still
both,
incorporate?
Both. Yeah. Software and hardware, man, but when I'm doing something quick, software, real quick.
Now, I know you did beats, but did you also rap and sing as well while you were in school?
Yeah, I was learning. I was learning how to sing. I was learning how to rap. I used to, my older brother used to rap, and I used to take his raps, take them to school, and recite them like they was mine, and that just taught me how to write a verse, write 16 bars, write a hook, and it taught me that, and yeah, man, from there, from like the 7th, 8th grade, I was rapping, and then just still learning how to sing at the same time.
ever get caught reciting his raps? Hey, that's your brother's stuff.
No, but you know, one time, it's crazy, man. When I was in high school, I was a freshman. And, you know, you got the homecoming courts and everything. And for the freshmen, you know, it was like the whatever court it is. And I won. And it was a talent show. And I recited one of my brother's raps. And about 15 years later, one of the dudes from my high school, he recited it on Facebook, and he said at the bar, and my brother was on the comment too. He was like, "Hold on, wait, that was mine." And he was like, "Yeah, man, when he rapped that, man, the whole school went crazy." He was like, "Oh," and then he kind of called me out, but I told him, I was like, "Yeah, man, because of you, that's why I started rapping."
Graduated high school?
Nah.
Didn't graduate high school?
Nah, man, nah.
What year did you drop out? 10th grade, 11th, 12th?
11th grade. 11th
so close
grade.
to being done. Why?
Yeah, for one, I got kicked out. I got kicked out, and I missed so many days, and you know, I didn't have any credits like that, so I would have to go back and, you know, do a lot, and I would have still been there for another year or so, but you know, just music just really took over, and I was like, man, I had to get out the city, you know. But I did want to graduate, but it was just too much going on in the streets.
What was your parents' reaction to that?
Man, I mean, to this day, man, they still, you know, want me to get some kind of high school diploma, you know. Seriously, you know, and I'm like, you know, I'll do it one day. But, you know, right now, you know, I'm not going to use that paper. It's just to make you happy, in which I want to do that, you know, for my parents and my family. But, man, I can't sit down and do that right now. When I can sit down, I will do it, and I'll make them happy. But right now, man, it's too much going on.
You have gray hairs in your beard.
Yeah.
Oh, why would they want you or expect you to have a diploma at this point?
I don't know, man. You know, just to have it. Just to have it, you know. And it's a lot of people. It's people 60, 70 years old that's going back to get their GED. For real, man. And I took a class and was about to start to get my GED at one time, and I looked around the class and seen 60-year-olds sitting there trying to get their GED. And I'm like, wow. It's just to say that you did it. You know, and I understand that, but once I get to sit down the way I want to and focus on that, then I go ahead and get it.
Do you regret that decision on getting kicked out or dropping out of high school?
Now that I do regret.
Okay.
I do.
If you could do it all over again, I'm assuming you would have finished.
Most definitely.
At least got the diploma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the message or the advice to somebody, hey, I'm in 11th grade, I'm thinking about dropping out?
Stay in school. School is cool. Getting straight A's, being on the honor roll, perfect attendance, man, that's cool. That's, you know, jewelry and money and cars and all, man, that's all right, you know, but stay in school, man, get your education, you know, because I got enough education, but, you know, it's all, I can always learn more. But education is key in life, especially for the younger people.
When you got kicked out, if you did go back, you would have had to gone to an alternative school, I imagine?
Yeah.
Did you even attempt that or no?
Actually, it was the other way around. I actually started in an alternative school. Then I went to I went to a suburban school.
You started out on an alternative school? How is that possible?
Because I was bad.
Oh.
I was bad.
They don't believe in a fresh start for high school?
Man.
Did alternative school start for you at 9th grade?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow,
it
that's
was
crazy.
Just for, you know, people who was just bad, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. So if you did have to go back, you would have had to gone back to a different alternative school?
Yeah.
How would that have worked? I was just curious.
Yeah, I had to go back to like an adult college or some adult community college to, you know, pursue my GED or my high school diploma. you know.
You know, the crazy thing is I've done so many of these interviews with this subject, and I've actually talked to somebody that I think they got kicked out maybe, I want to say 9th or 10th grade, and they did, I don't know, they did some sort of program. I don't know if it was alternative school or home classes or whatever the case may be, but they actually graduated. When they got it, they actually graduated quicker than if they would have stayed in 9th through 12th.
Wow.
And I found that to be amazing. It's like, well, what's the point of going to grade school if you could have just...
See, because it's
now, I don't know exactly what he did exactly. I can't remember the conversation, but I was like, kind of just, if it took you that quick to do that, what's the point of going to those extra grades for?
Yeah, I couldn't even answer that, but it's amazing how people can go to, you know, can do homeschool and stay and do homeschool and just like you say, they breeze right through it.
So after you got kicked out and quote unquote dropped out, you took the music career serious? Yeah. Were you in the streets and then music was serious after that, or how did that work out?
I was in the streets, and at the time I was in the streets and I was still doing music, but I was on the verge of getting out the streets and moving to LA. You know, and I sat down with my best friend one day and I told him, I was like, man, I want to go to LA. I didn't even know how I was going to get there. But I told him, like, man, I'm going to go to LA. You know, I'm going to live in the studio. I'm going to work with celebrities, whatever. And that's what happened. Just like that.
Looking back, was that the right age for you to move to LA? Or do you wish you would have done it a little later?
Yeah, I wish I would have did it a little later, because when you move out to LA, man, you need a few M's. At least you need like 10 M's to live comfortable out in LA.
Living expenses in California, period, is on another level compared to most states. But LA, I always hear this. Everybody says the same thing. You have to have money to live in LA comfortably.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's crazy, man. I did it for so long, but, you know, I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't fake the funk, man. I was like, man, let me just come back home and you know, be with my peoples, even though, you know, I should just go somewhere else. Like, I should have came here.
Atlanta.
Yeah. You know, I really should have came to Atlanta 9 years ago, you know, but I moved out to LA with my pops and just took it from there.
Now, if you could do it all over again, what would be the appropriate age for you to have gone to LA?
I'll say, like if I had some real money right now, I'd go back right now. Yeah.
Somebody thinking about moving to LA, what's the advice there? Every circumstance is different, but general advice when it comes to the age to move to LA for that career choice. Every career is different too, but any general jewels there you could drop?
Just have a place to stay. For one, have a place to stay. Make sure you got some jobs lined up, interviews, something. Make sure you got some kind of money that's going to be made when you get there, because it's going to be tough. You know, and everybody right now in LA, it seems like everybody living out their car. So, yeah.
One more piece of advice. Somebody watching this, let's say they just got out of high school, graduated, and they're thinking about the next choice in their life. Let's say they have a passion for music. Doesn't necessarily have to be a producer, rapper, singer like you. It could be DJ, music video director, engineer, whatever the case may be. But they have a passion for music. Yeah. Do you tell that person, go straight into the music industry, music career choice, or do you tell a person if they can continue their education, do that and music at the same time? Again, circumstances could be different for everybody, but general advice here.
Get the education and, you know, still pursue the career that you want. Because, like I say, man, learning and being educated on new stuff is going to, you know, brighten your horizons, and you're going to learn a lot, you know, by just, even if you just teach yourself, you know, and that's how I started. I taught myself, you know. So if you go to school and stay in them books and you know, be the top of your class and still learn. Yeah.